things Halloween. This is Hauntformer, and welcome back to yet another Mask, R.I.P. review. Now, if you weren't aware, yesterday I reviewed one of my favorite horror comedies, An American Werewolf in London. One of John Landis's greatest films, and one of my personal favorites. Today, to celebrate and continue the momentum of that review, I am going to be taking a look at the Trick or Treat Studios, An American Werewolf in London werewolf mask. There's a lot to say about this mask, so let's jump into it. First of all, this is a rather rare mask, and it's very expensive because of that. This is actually one of my most expensive masks that I have in my collection, and I really do love it, but it does come with a price tag, and it's really hard to track down. It's actually not even available on the Trick or Treat Studios website at this point. Now, the mask itself was sculpted by Mikey Rotella, who has done many different masks for Trick or Treat Studios, Distortions, and I even think Ghoulish Productions. He is a very talented sculptor, great guy, and this has gotta be a really difficult sculpt to do, not only because the werewolf in the film is so complex and detailed, but also because you don't really see it all too much in the movie, only in little bits and pieces, and I think Rick Baker and the team behind those effects in the film did a phenomenal job. As you can see, it does capture the look mostly of the werewolf from the movie, especially in the face and the structure of the teeth and the jaw. Now, I do think if I had to point out an issue with it, would be the eyes don't quite look like the eyes in the movie. They're a little too small and squinted on the mask, and in the movie they're very big and round. So if I had to point out a flaw, that would be one I could see with this mask, but it's still a beautiful mask, one of the best werewolf masks out there. Trick or Treat Studios made several masks from the American Werewolf movie. There is another werewolf, which is actually like the demon werewolf from David's dream that he has. There are several masks like the Warmonger and a few others that were in that particular scene. And there's also one of Jack, too, which I think is a great sculpt as well, also by Mikey Rotella. But this mask is really the one that I think, if you're a big fan of the film, this might be the one that you really want to go for, either this one or Jack, because the dream sequence is very brief. This is kind of the centerpiece of the entire film, the werewolf itself, which, like I said, looks amazing. I love how big the teeth are. It is very breathable. It's a very large mask. It's probably the biggest mask that I have, as you can see, up there with, like, Krampus, because it is so big and monstrous. There is a lot of hair. I don't know what kind of hair. Usually it's like yak or something. Or it could be fake, but I'm assuming it's probably some sort of animal hair on this. Looks really good. It's very full. And the werewolf had a lot of hair in the movie. Maybe not as fluffy as the hair seen here, but it does look good, and I like how they blended it really nicely with the latex. It's hard to even see there are ears on the werewolf as well. Looks really good. You can see pretty well out of it. It's very breathable and very large. But it is hard to track down because of the rarity. And it is, because of that, very expensive. I looked it up on Amazon. It costs like $200 right now. I believe when it was around, when I got it, it was like $100 or so. So it is a pretty hefty price tag. But if you are a fan of the film, this is a great piece to add to your collection. And like I said, overall, pretty fantastic mask. I would have changed the eyes, made them a little bit bigger, like the ending of the film. That's just my personal taste. But this does look scary. You could, in theory, make this into a costume. The werewolf in the film is basically naked, covered in fur. But perhaps if you got David's outfit that he wears and put this with it, it would look pretty cool. You could also get the Jack mask, which I'm debating getting, and, you know, wear his outfit from the movie too. So there's a lot of different options if you're a fan of American Werewolf. This is such a cool piece. It's so large, like I said, it takes up like the entire frame of this video. But I'm certainly glad to have it in my collection. And if you want your very own, it might take some tracking down, but it will be well worth it because this is a pretty killer mask. Overall, I'm going to give the American Werewolf mask a 4 out of 5 skulls on the R.I.P. Reviews rating scale. Thank you guys very much for watching. Continue to watch Haunttober. I have so many more spooky videos coming your way. And remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.